Greetings, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we've got a treat for you. I've got ITSL playoffs here. Tim Furrow, on his comeback tour, a 13-7 regular season, made the playoffs. He's got David Choo after winning his first round matchup against Chris Choo. He gets David in the second round. Winner of this one gets Chris Gentry. Winner of that one gets me. So I am certainly an interested observer here. Ted Livermore along for the ride. Ted, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Justin. Thanks for having me. This is exciting. ITSL playoffs. Is this game one?
Yes, so that is yes. We will have two games for you tonight. We
Ah,
will have game one and game two. I don't know whether that is the full series or not, but we will have two games for you, and we'll be watching from Tim's side. So let's go ahead and get the video up. That is exactly the wrong thing to do. So let's try again. We're going to hide this. All right, that looks like it should, and we are going to play the video here tonight at 1.25 speed to give these players some to give ourselves some time to break down the moves of these players. So, like I said, watching from Tim's side, he's the USSR in game one. He'll be the USA in game two. Tim, excuse me, Ted, what do you think of this hand?
yeah. I think pretty clear Vietnam revolts headline. And then spread out, take Thailand, and then hopefully get Europe off for zero.
So, talk to me about NATO. Let's assume that David does not open with Marshall. Do you want to get NATO out AR1, even though it's a horrific waste of ops to put four in Thailand and one in Laos?
No, because you have Warsaw, so
Oh yes, okay.
he would headline Marshall. Are you gonna go live on Twitch or is there a 15-minute delay?
We're live. We are live, and
Okay,
people can hear us. We're live.
let me refresh my. Okay, yes, indeed, you are live. Okay. All right, so tough headline there. Obviously not what Tim wanted to see, but he gets Vietnam off. I think probably better than it being defectored. And let's see what he does. But yeah, I don't think there's any rush to play NATO.
If you did, let's
Although,
pretend you didn't have Warsaw. Would you play NATO AR1? Would you play something else and hope you didn't see Warsaw? Would you play NATO and coup Iran and risk the Vietnam coup war? What would you do?
no, no, no. I think you have to. I don't think cooing Iran unless you have duck makes sense. I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's. I mean, I don't know. You have a couple of coup cards here. I mean, Cambridge 5, Eastern European unrest are fine for cooing back, so I could see you doing that. The other thing with NATO, again, is you have special in your hand, so and special seems like a perfectly fine hold.
Yep. Yeah,
So
I agree with that.
there is
You
there is
certainly don't
that.
want to give special here early until you score Europe.
No, no.
And with a Vietnam headline, it seems unlikely that David will want to fill France right immediately. With Middle East scored, maybe he would, but I would assume if we just take Thailand here, then the play will be the Pakistan. We'll see the Pakistan South Korea play from David.
Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is just take Thailand and it's fine.
It took Tim
And
a little
especially
bit
if
of time
Korean
to
War.
make a very standard play there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking about, but you do have Korean War in your hand, so even if David does take both, then you can go for the 50-50, and that's a huge 50-50.
Yeah, that can be game deciding right there, early on to flip over. Long term that can be 20 VPs in Asia. Okay, I'm going to go with a CIA coup, roll a six right away. So do you coup that back, Ted, or are you going to Laos here to maintain your access to Thailand? What do you like?
No, I think I like and then Malaysia.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. And then I mean maybe yeah, that's fine. I might put a second one in Laos, but this is fine. You really don't want Thailand getting cooed.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. And you really, ideally, I think you want to give you would if Europe had been scored, you want to give special there. Go one Lao, two Malaysia, right, without the extra in Thailand, because Thailand at three is fine. You can always coup back under Vietnam if you do eat a big number there. Um, but I don't know. I guess I'd coup Laos if I were David, who by the way is seems to be offline.
And now he's coming back.
Mhm.
But yeah, the U.S. you can be really annoying here. You just keep focused on Asia because the USSR has you got to get presence in the Middle East. Well, I guess it's less important. The Middle East was headline, so maybe you don't. And certainly Tim wants to get Europe off.
Yeah, Tim has Korean War in his hand, which so he's got Europe in his hand, which complicates things. He's also got Korean War in his hand. You obviously don't want to punt that for ops and leave South Korea at 1-0. So that's a little bit of an obligation. That card might have to be the one that gets held here. Tim obviously needs, yeah, there should just be a coup of Lao. I think that's fine. Anything but a one, well, rolls just enough
Okay.
to stop the Dom.
So now I think what I do is I just take South Korea.
Oh,
I
I don't
take
like
South Korea
this.
with NATO. No, I don't like that
Oh,
either.
I don't like
No,
that
I
at
don't. I don't
all.
like that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you
I
take
would just
South
take South
Korea
Korea. Yeah,
first. That reestablishes the Dom. Then the
yep,
war becomes free.
yep, yep, yep. And then yeah, and then there's not a whole lot the U.S. can do. I mean, take Indonesia, sure, whatever, but then you coup that with Korean War or coup Lao with Korean
Yeah,
War.
and now David, for his part, can just go one, right? He can go two South Korea, one Philippines with a garden variety three, or maybe I guess one Indonesia is probably what he'd do, given that we have access there, and to stop the Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not like punting Korean War for ops there. I think that Lao coup could have waited, like you said. Take South Korea first, then Korean War becomes a guilt free two. Then you got to score Europe. I would
Okay.
assume this is Indonesia and two South Korea. Yep, that is
Yep.
exactly what it is, and he'll stop the Dom. And now Tim
Ooh.
in a little bit of an awkward spot. Yeah, he's got to dump the
Okay.
scoring.
Okay. Yep. And now we'll see. Obviously, Asia will be scored now. The advantage to this, though, is if he does score Asia, you can coup Iran with NATO. Okay. So he gets the 2 BP.
I'd
So,
take, and so now everything except Asia is scored. Oh, he's gonna give special here.
man, these coups are not working out for him.
Yeah, these just just enough on these rolls. Does reestablish Dom. David clearly doesn't have Asia. He would have scored it there. Decided to space. Doesn't get out of Iran.
Yeah, that's why I don't know that there's a rush to coup Indonesia there. I think I'd rather coup Iran with NATO.
Yeah, and if I were David, I'd want to get into Pakistan here because you don't have to worry about this country count nonsense if you can just get into Pakistan and hold it.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I think the Korean War mistake here might come back to haunt Tim. We'll see. But Asia's the only region unscored here, so it's certainly worth fighting over. And Tim is down 6 VP. Let's not forget that. That's
Yep.
pretty nasty.
Also, we saw space of sock govs there. Unusual to see that so early in turn one. That probably means, almost certainly means that David has another card he would rather hold for blockade, which you've got to think is D-stall, right? I mean, sock govs is the ideal blockade hold card. I'd much rather trigger De Gaulle or Suez, get them out of the deck permanently.
Oh,
Yeah, and there it is. So he goes Canada
okay.
because he wants to do
Right. Yeah,
Suez. Okay.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, yeah, you're gonna coup, I assume Pakistan, and not
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, not enough. And so David can coup that back, or he can simply retake.
I think you just take it, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
stop the Dom.
You take it and you
Yeah.
stop the Dom. DEFCON back to 5. So now if we try the Pakistan coup turn 2, okay, this is, well, forget about what I speculated. D-stall comes into Tim's hand. Tim also picks up IP War. And
Yeah,
Duck
though
seems like a good one to pick up as well. What are you? How are you playing this, Ted? We haven't seen defectors. How are you going to play this?
I mean, I probably headline IP War. DEFCON's at 5, right? Um, so even if it does get defectors, you can coup Pakistan. You event it,
Yeah,
then
I think you
coup.
coup Pakistan with Duck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it has to be IP War to try and snipe an Asia headline. Give yourself a chance to score the Dom in the headline.
Yeah.
If the war misses, you weren't getting Dom anyway, in all likelihood. Yep, I like that. Okay, we've arrived at a huge moment in this game, and Tim misses the
Uh,
roll. But a good headline from David and a good headline from Tim. If David had lost the war, he was not fighting off this Dom. He had no chance to
no,
do it,
no,
especially with
you
Tim
had
having
every time.
Duck.
Yeah.
His only chance was to get it out in the headline. Tim decides now to coup Iran instead of Pakistan. That makes sense. Gets a decent roll there. Picks up a 4. But I think you're just going to see that coup back, right?
Yeah, you absolutely will. Um, four ops still hanging out there unseen. So I think you take a uh, big old four op coup if you have it. Just to, yeah. No, no.
Oh, just going to retake and go what? Israel? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of Israel because I mean Nasser, right? You want to get that out. Um, Obviously David wasn't in Israel, so there wasn't a particular rush. But I'd make just coup with independent Reds here.
Yep.
Panama seems fine. You get two VPs for the mill ops.
Yeah, I
I'm
think I like
surprised.
that.
Yeah, David didn't coup there.
So
Um,
Truman is about to be free if you destall first, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose.
I just like the two op just to give you a better chance on Panama here.
Yeah, yeah. The destall's a lot cleaner if you can hit a roll here. All right, well, good play by Tim just using the one.
Yeah, and now I think we'll see Egypt. I imagine, which is going to put Tim in a tough spot here
So Tim wants
because
to get Nasser off. Oh boy, and a big four up. This could be Angola and Egypt. No, just two India, nothing in Angola. All right, well now you just destall, right?
yeah, I suppose your problem is you really now need to get presence in the Middle East. I mm, I guess you yeah, I guess you because you can destall into France, which seems good.
Yeah, with Truman gone, you can destall into France. With Truman around, I like destalling into Algeria instead, so I don't get Truman out. But I think yeah, so you don't need to go Southeast Asia. One Angola certainly, one Algeria or France, one Venezuela, one Chile would be my play. What do you think?
I think France. I think you have to do France over Algeria, because you still get access to Algeria. You can't, see if he has another four to dump in there,
Mm-hmm.
but make him use four. Yeah, so he has to have four to take it. Um,
Yep,
Makes the Gaul a little bit more awkward.
yep. I think
If
that's
he does just
right.
take it with four, then you just go ahead and take Algeria. No big deal.
Yeah, and this has got to be frustrating for Tim. So Tim now going to have to presumably. I think you trigger Nasser anyway, right? And make David immediately spent the ops in Libya. Then you can take Iraq, um, or Iraq and Egypt for your Middle East presence. You do need to seal off Venezuela though. You want to get Algeria. A lot to do. Not a ton of ops to do it with.
No, no. So I think you see what David does with France, depending on how that goes, right? You take Algeria or you take France if you can. You got to put two in Iraq, I think, in event Nasser, and that's, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to be able to seal off Venezuela there.
Okay. The only four ops we've not seen. Oh, he goes
Okay,
India.
I just take France. I just take France.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to. You need to be ahead in an early war region.
Yeah.
You're way behind in the Middle East, or behind battlegrounds at least in Asia. Although the Korean War is coming back, yeah, need to get France here. So that's good for Tim. We've not seen U.S. Japan. We have not seen Marshall. Oh, and there's UN of blockade. No, UN of decall.
Agree with it. Okay.
Explain that one to me. We haven't seen blockade, have we?
No, we have not. Um, he might be fighting for his life ops wise here. I don't. Oh, now. What are you gonna do? Your 5-year plan,
You got
Nasser?
a 5-year plan Nasser? Have to. No choice. I think you have to 5-year plan Nasser, go to Iraq, one Zaire. Okay, CNS for the event is fine. Hate to use it on that spot, but it's a fine event. I think it's to Iraq. Okay, I don't. This isn't.
I don't hate this.
You're gonna take Europe, Dom, and take presence in Syria. I like. I Romanian hasn't been seen.
All right, fair
I
enough.
think I would. I think I'd rather count on Romanian to get me Europe, Dom.
And then I
Uh,
mean, if you're gonna do this, you have to put the other one in Syria.
yeah, you could eat a poke here. That would be a disaster. So you could go Syria, or you could take the chance. Given that he only sped a two up, when France was up for grabs like that, you could hope that he doesn't have a big card here.
Well, he doesn't need a big card. He needs Olympic Games.
Yeah,
Like, even AI war is fine.
it's
Um,
true. Yep. Okay. He does go with the conservative play for stalling. Now, what's CIA? I don't believe we've seen CIA, have
no, it
we?
got played on turn one. It
Oh, it
was the
did.
coup
David did
of
have it. Okay. Okay.
yeah. So, oh,
Okay.
wow.
All
Just
right.
answered that
Sometimes
one.
Justin calls one correctly. It's rare, but it happens. Okay. So Tim takes Europe Dom into turn three. This hand much better. Holy Christ! Look at these ups.
Yeah, I suspect that David held blockade.
Now he didn't hold anything.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He
Right, because
UN'd
Olympic. Never,
decall.
never, never mind. Yeah, that's yeah.
So and we didn't see blockade turn one, right?
No, no. So he has it. So
So
I
yeah.
think David Hand is AI War, NORAD, Fidel, Olympics, and blockade.
So he UN'd decall and he left himself open to a
So,
blockade.
so this, yeah, okay. Duck and cover. Not what you want to see is Tim, but you got other things to do here. Philip South America,
He can
Purged.
still get his mill ops with AI war.
Uh,
Is this a Korea jam situation?
but I mean, it's not gonna get you. It's not gonna get you Dom. I mean, if you flip it over, sure.
I mean, we're
Although,
already down three battlegrounds to two.
yeah, you're also down 7 VP, which is an
Yeah,
issue.
yeah. So
And
Tim
the
in a little
four
bit of
ops.
trouble here.
Yeah,
But what are you going to do if you're
NATO
not jamming
situation.
South Korea? You're going to take Saudi? Who
I'm
cares?
gonna
You're going to
take
fill South
Brazil,
America?
Chile, Saudi, Argentina, Zaire, Portugal. I'm doing all of those things.
Yes, those are important things to do. But yeah, you take Saudi, you're just going to be met with a take of Libya. Now, what cards are in David's hand? We know he's got blockade, and in retrospect, I really didn't like the UN of decall there on turn two. I hate that play. I'd much rather hold decall than UN. It only gives you one extra op and it opens you up to blockade. But much better that he is not holding both blockade and decall here.
Yeah, the other thing about jamming South Korea is you can then follow it up by taking Japan with a China card.
Yeah, or you could just trigger U.S. Japan and jam that right back into Japan and force David to immediately defend it
Yeah, there's that too.
um, with a crappy hand.
It's tough here though because you also want to fill up South America. Yeah,
Yeah, Saudi didn't seem that important. That's a three-op play that we have to make that gets answered by a two-op play, and that's a country that David wants to fill anyway. If we're going to use three ops there, I'd much rather put them in South America, Zaire, or a jam of South Korea.
I mean, I suppose you could jam Iran. I don't love that. You're running out of ops here quickly because you got. I think you want to space one of the blue
Yeah,
fours and then hold the other one,
yeah, we
right?
are not giving Marshall on this board
No,
certainly.
and I mean, without a successful jam of South Korea here, you're not going to give U.S.
Yeah,
Japan.
I mean, if you flip over South Korea here, that's all of a sudden six countries in Asia. Yeah, this is fine. You need to take these countries anyway. That's fine, but that suggests Tim's not gonna do
No,
anything particularly
no,
spicy.
no. That would have been the card to jam South Korea with. And he does
Yeah,
have it.
he has
Brutal.
Middle East, so could have jammed around. I think you just hope he doesn't have it there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Tim getting his mill ops misses on the roll. Had to have a six. There's the Olympic Games you mentioned. Okay, that retakes it. So I wonder if we see a couple into South Korea now. Still blockade and decall. Am I right? No, excuse me. No, just blockade, not necessarily decall, because we saw it U end.
No, I have Fidel and Blockade, I think, are the known.
Yeah. So Fidel is going to be great to get. U.S. Japan is not a card you want to give here.
No, you can't.
U.S. Japan
No.
is a big problem. Really would have liked to get one up into South Korea just so we have the option of the Japan either empty AR to take Japan to 4-3, or just straight up steal Japan with the China card and hope USJ doesn't come back to the late war. Yeah, I guess opponent knew we had AI war. That's one of the things I like getting my mill ops later sometimes to forestall plays like this. But yeah, I think Tim needs these two VP. He cannot.
No,
He can't.
yeah, he must
He
he
can't
must
even
have
think
them.
about contesting Nigeria here.
Must. Um, I think this is fine. Venezuela is fine. Burma also fine. Put you up one country.
So now you're at 7 countries. So U.S., Japan. Oh, and there is defectors. So defectors gone for the mid-war. Is this just U.S., Japan fill up the bottom half of South? Is that it? And then that leaves Asia at 7-7. Oh boy.
I don't like this.
I do not like this. I'd much rather Space Marshal. I do not like this. So now you do have 6 countries in Europe to 3, but
But
now
you're
one
giving up.
Greece, one
Yeah.
UK, and then yeah, a couple Benelux evens it up. This is yeah, and then obviously you're turning on NATO, which is the one 4 op we haven't seen. Oh, and that's a huge card, and it hits.
Oh,
Huge sigh of relief for Tim, and you know what? Great play by Tim, not poking North Korea. He'd never had to do it.
wow.
So huge turn 3 redraw. So Korean War comes back, and
And
Tim
now
wins the
look
war,
at this.
and Fidel
Defectors
as
is
well.
gone. This is a decall headline. You can decall into Africa Dom here.
Yeah, yeah. This is a big decall headline. Southeast Asia scoring is nice. You should be able to get that off for 4.
And you don't really have problems. I mean, Panama's, like not great, but it's fine.
Puppets is an easy space.
Yeah. Yeah.
U.S. Japan can be a hold or an empty AR. Panama is mildly annoying. Yeah, it's a clear decall headline. Don't know what Tim's
I don't
really
know
thinking about here.
what the delay is.
Okay, bear traps annoying but not a disaster if we can get out in one. This will be Nigeria, Algeria certainly, and I think I want to take Africa Dom,
Yeah, I think so.
and then
Uh,
what? One Philippines for Southeast Asia? Nope, gonna go South Africa. That's
No,
fine.
I like putting them all in Africa. You're fine with Southeast Asia
Yeah,
right now. You're not gonna.
yeah. I guess if you get cooed out of Angola, you want the opportunity to take South Africa,
Mhm.
but certainly David is not going to coup Angola here. Um, yeah, no, he's just going to take it. He will.
Nigeria.
That's exactly what he's going to do. So he's going to
Oh,
concede Nigeria. I mean, he could. Tim could just use "We will bury you" here. Take both Nigeria and Algeria.
that's what you absolutely do,
I
right?
don't see. I don't see why you don't do that. Make David have a 4 to then flip one of them.
And yeah, yeah. And Nixon is not like an ideal coup card there, I don't think.
No, this is. Hmm.
Mhm. Okay, okay. I mean, I think we'll see a three here in Algeria and two Botswana, and then you put yourself in a realigned position, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about is the real line position, and then you have to defend your countries that might get flipped. Yeah, I would have rather had Algeria. Algeria is safely defended from realigns because we have France. Nope, he's
Right.
just going to do that. And now I think we have to use U.S. Japan here and flip over Zaire, don't we?
No, no, no. I just use Cuban Missile Crisis and make them
Okay,
have another three.
okay, make him have a 4. All right.
I really,
No, yeah,
really,
you're right. U.S. Japan gives up.
yeah, I really dislike giving the US Japan.
Yeah, that gives up Dom. That stops Dom in Asia.
This is this is fine. I think this is fine.
Why is
Um,
Zaire? Can we not do Botswana? What about Botswana?
yeah, that's
I'd
probably
rather
good.
see the overprotect and then go Botswana.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, he wanted Nigeria as his issue is he wanted to overprotect Nigeria.
Yeah. Overprotect Nigeria to Botswana, and then he put one in Venezuela because he's okay. Yeah, 3 VPs for that is not too much fun. Okay, we'll pick up 4. This will be a Zaire overprotect. Okay, and now with Panama, he wanted to put the third one in there so that he can trigger Panama. But okay, he's going to space.
I might have held that. I get it. Panama's not fun, but Asia scores and then you have a four up.
Yeah.
It's relatively free.
Finally, we do see blockade, and he'll get rid of Che, which actually would have been a nice event, even though it's just one coup in Saharan. Okay, we'll take a coup ourselves. That sets up realigns on Algeria.
Yeah, the cost of one small step, though.
I mean, I don't know. I'd like to trigger one small step. Okay, well, Tim happy to get Allende, certainly.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is like if you want to do if you want to realign, you're giving up. You're not inventing one small step.
Yeah, giving him double space for the foreseeable future is not
Yeah, I don't
great.
like. I don't know. I
You
like
better
it.
hit
Yeah,
these
but
rolls, and yeah,
yeah,
that's a
I
disaster.
think I'd rather trigger it.
I would have triggered it if he couldn't get back in if we got him out. But best case scenario, he
Right,
still
and
gets
you
back
only have
in.
one in there. Okay, well
Yeah.
that's really annoying.
Okay, Tim needs ABM and he gets it. He
And
also
Europe,
picks up 5-year plan. Europe is nice. Can we stop presence with Sakov? No, we cannot. Um,
but this has to be ABM.
yeah, for missile
And
envy
then
reasons.
you just give up. Yeah,
Missile envy, man, EEU is
I
also
know,
quite
right? Yeah,
annoying.
that's the problem.
But we can fix that. We can fix that. But yeah, I believe this has to be ABM. And what the hell do you do? Do you? Okay, well, that doesn't really bother us at the moment. Do you just fix up South America? Trade coups in Africa? Do you take 2 coups in Africa and give up a country in South America? What do you like here, Ted?
Okay, so two coups in Africa. So the other thing though is you're gonna have to fix the damage here because this I think is this gonna flip
We'll not do anything. We
Dom?
have China.
Oh. Okay. All right. Yeah. Then never mind. Okay. So you can ignore that. Yeah, I kind of like the two coups in Africa, honestly.
I think I really have no problem with that. You take 2 coups in Africa. You give up a country in what? No.
No.
Don't do that. Okay, he doesn't want South Korea getting jammed, but he's just gonna flip Lao if he's gonna use China. He's
Well,
gonna
but I
flip
mean,
Laos. Right?
what else are you doing with these ops? Though is the thing. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I don't mind overprotecting Brazil and Argentina, and then all of those are at three. I don't Israel. Okay.
Middle East scored. I'm not okay. I mean, maybe makes Muslims a little more painful. Okay, we're just gonna take the 1 coup. Ugh, brutal. So now you just see that coup back. And then we're just going to score Europe, right? Oh, the one in Israel is for a 5-year plan of Sadat. That's why. That. Okay. Oh. We can't flip that with the EU, though. Right? Ted, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm thinking. Yeah, I think
Yep.
you
You've just gotta take your 5 VPs.
you have enough countries in Africa that this isn't a
Yep.
concern.
So you're down five. You're up 5-3 here. Botswana still sitting out there and important. China was going to be a flip in southeast somewhere. Oh, okay. He's just going to take Japan.
Okay, fine. And now I want to overprotect Brazil at least and just stop any shenanigans there. Um,
Oh no. What am I saying on the phone? Oh, whoa.
okay.
So a one-up reline. Sorry. For some reason, I was thinking Egypt was sitting at 0-2, but of course it was 2-0. Sadat is irrelevant. So you want to dump it immediately.
Yes,
That
you want
was
to dump it immediately. Yeah.
yeah. That was obviously dumb. So now we could see a refill.
I think you have to.
Yeah. I mean, sorry. We will see a refill. To somewhere else. Take Central Dom here? Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah.
South America presence.
All right. I mean, Camp David, you're gonna have to play it, I think. I guess it could be your space
I mean, the
offer.
question is, are you willing to gamble with Kennedy that David doesn't have South America?
I don't like giving Kennedy here. No, no, no. I don't like this. Mm.
Okay, we've committed ourselves to giving Kennedy.
It's not just South America, it's also Gunman.
Yep. Okay, there's Asia. Yeah, David.
Yeah.
David
All right.
telegraphed that by filling up Japan with China. It's not. That's an incredibly unsexy play that you wouldn't make otherwise. Yeah, and so are we gonna fight for? We got to repair East Germany, and then okay,
I
he's gonna.
like one in Brazil. Yeah, I really like one in Brazil.
Yeah. You don't want to get jammed there, especially with David having Colombia. Okay, that had to be spaced, and there's two VPs. We can't really do anything about it. Ooh, an AR-6 Kennedy. Okay, we're gonna 5-year plan. We're not gonna hold 5-year plan. We're gonna 5-year plan Panama and no
Oh,
discard.
nothing. Okay, well, worked out.
So Tim wants more ops here. So yes, I'm fine with an overprotective Brazil.
Botswana is
Um,
still good.
fine now. Okay,
So I do kind of like this because the no discard, right? And then you're in, good event territory here.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. Okay. So good play by Tim. And now he's going to get presumably going to get Algeria at the cost of potentially seeing a jam. Missile Envy, How I Learned, and a gunman. Punting gunmen to the late war is not a disaster.
No, no. No, I think How I Learned is a better card for the US.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, you have to do that. And now the problem is you're going to get poked in South America for sure,
Yeah.
which is going to take your control down to presence. But if you, as long as it's not Brazil, you're getting poked in. Losing Argentina or Venezuela would not be nearly as bad as losing Brazil. This should just be a jam of Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're looking at. Still need to see Junta. Still need to see Brush by my count.
Blah.
Okay, well, we have grain and voice in our hand. So that's good news. But obviously, we're hoping to see Junta. Junta here into Venezuela and then cooing.
That's got to be Quagmire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Quagmire.
Okay.
And now, yeah, you're just holding your breath here. Okay, flower power counter is at 4. So let's keep that in mind. Oh, that's a really big problem. Okay, so now South America is just even,
Okay. I
right?
think I might no. I think I might. I think I coup Venezuela with you too, and then I might follow it up by cooing Colombia with one of the South African cards or African cards.
Okay, so
Now you're screwed after that, but
yeah, you have nothing. So that's gonna lead to a Colombia coup war, and
which
we
you can't
cannot
afford.
fight that. Tim's just going to pick up an extra 2 VP. He's going to hope for a miss. If we see a miss here, this is going to be an Africa control for Tim. Oh, and that's a huge miss, right? Because now it's just Portuguese or South Africa. Whoa. That's an event.
Yeah, yeah. You vent it and then you shuttle and you take it in Venezuela, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is fine. Either way. Yeah. You use South African because the Portuguese goes back in the deck. Yeah, this is good. I mean, you could use China here.
Yeah, yeah. Take both.
Take both and overprotect Angola. That's a huge deal. Now you're probably going to see an
It,
Angola flip.
but fine, and then you realign it.
Okay. Then
And
you realign, or you can coup Colombia, take South America Dom, and stop those realigns. Oh
no,
no, we're gonna ignore
gonna
it.
realign.
Oh well,
Oh, worked out.
that worked.
Oh
Holy Christ, that
no.
worked. That's a disaster.
Well, 11 VPs isn't a
Yeah,
disaster.
yeah. So two countries and two roles, and wow, South America
Oh
scores for
man,
even.
that was a gamble by David. Man,
Yeah, and it pays off. If David misses that roll,
the
you're
game's over.
looking at not quite GG, but damn close. Wow, what a Wow, that was a big moment. All right, Tim gets his 11 VPs, but David escapes in South America. Central still to score. Fidel now has been realigned out, so we could see him take Cuba. We should see him take Cuba for control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you hold grain or voice here?
Stuff. I think I hold voice. I think the DEFCON risk of grain and then the power of voice in the late war.
Boy, Pope with, uh, I guess Warsaw is around, so didn't want to event the Pope. Wanted to take Cuba. We'll see if David has Central as well. The only region not to score in the mid-war. Okay, now CIA coming back in the deck. And so Tim does have libs, and he gets it along with Junta. A couple of huge draws for him, and David gets the scoring. So libs can stop the Dom. Libs can go Mexico, Cuba, and then Haiti to stop the Dom. Junta guarantees a flip of presumably Mexico. It's Junta here, right? Or is it libs?
I don't know. It might be libs for me.
If David, the issue is David headlines the scoring. Okay, then libs is much better.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think if you're David, you
No, no,
have
no,
to
no,
go.
no, no,
No,
no,
no, no.
no, no.
No.
Do again. Do again. One,
Ready?
two, and
Both and
Haiti.
then put Haiti. Yeah. Or that's fine too.
That's fine too. Okay.
I think Haiti's better, but
Yeah.
whatever.
So Junta would not have stopped that Dom.
Correct.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
David
well,
realized that. I think he with Junta and libs in Tim's
yeah.
hand, he realized that it was not
It's gonna
going
go
to get better
bad.
than one VP, and you just suck it up and move on. So David weasels his way out of South America, but was hoping to put up a big 7 in Central and has to settle for 1.
Yeah. All right. And now, okay. Okay. Yep. This makes sense. Okay. Whatever. I'm not sure that I
That
care.
doesn't bother me that much. He does want to get cultural out. Could be an arms race issue.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I think you have to event Muslim. Um, event Muslim. So this is, I mean, when you can book
Oh,
Iran.
sorry. JR pointing out in the chat. Junta could have stopped up. You could have
Yeah,
just
I think
broken
so.
Mexico
Coup,
and
yeah,
could
the coup
and could
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it would
right.
have been
Yeah,
2 VPs
yeah,
instead of
yeah,
1.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
my fault on that.
yeah.
My fault on that. Okay. So here we go. It is AR2. And what are our priorities here? We want to take Israel. We also I would assume we want to get Willie evented, right? Don't you want to slap your Willie on the table here? And
Oh,
yeah, that extra VP could be
Justin,
important.
don't, don't, don't do that.
That's what Max says, so that must be right.
Yeah, see, that I think you were baited into, and I didn't like that. I think I'd rather just say if you want to realign Mexico after Central America scored, it's not coming back for the rest of the game. Who gives a shit? I'd rather put one in Angola. I would rather put one in Iran, for Muslim Rev purposes. Okay, there you go. Um,
Yeah,
I'd
or
rather.
just or hell, just use you could use Muslims to take Israel, and just be done with it. Although, well, with shuttle, it's still a
So
dom
here's the
there.
other thing: is that Nasser, I believe, is in David's hand.
Oh yes, I think that's right because we 5-year planned it. The other thing is we just gave Formosan, so Taiwan, I believe, gives a
Yeah,
is
it
that
does.
gives
Yes,
a
that was my
shuttle
other.
shuttle and Formosan needs both.
Yeah.
But with shuttle and Formosan, that does give David Dom. And yeah, I did mention it that 3-op coup of Guatemala suggested arms race, and a 2-op coup does not solve that. But okay, so how are you be handling this here? You've already got
Yeah.
a space one of voice or CRG.
And
Are you
then
going to
you're UNing the
stomach
other.
CR? Yeah, but are you going to give away China? Because you could just give CRG. How bad is voice here? We always think of voice as being ungivable, but how bad is voice here? Because boy, I really don't want to give away China.
Maybe it's not
CIA's around.
that bad.
Gunman is around. It is in the deck, not
I think
necessarily
the
in his hand.
so I think the issue with voice, I'm not like if Tim played voice right now, and I'm David, I might go Laos, Indonesia, and then flip Angola, or take both out of Zaire.
Yeah,
Okay, so Tim obviously is going to hang on to the China card.
I,
There's no
I
reason.
I like that decision by Tim. I don't know which of voice or CRG is better, but Usuri is gone. A space of Nixon means China is ours for the game, barring a Star Wars to take China back, or Salt, I suppose. Speaking of
And I
Salt,
think
have we?
Salt, yeah, I know it's in David's hand.
It is in Salt is in David's hand. Yeah. So that could be another piece of it. Is Assault for Nixon as a weak play? We don't want to see him salt for voice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So CRG, but CRG is going to do the same damn thing as voice would have. This is going to go
Yeah,
Angola, the
they're
two
pretty much the
southeast.
same. They're pretty much the same thing.
Nothing in southeast.
Yeah, I don't like that
I don't
because
like that.
with shuttle you just need well, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight versus five, six.
I
So
don't.
yeah,
I don't. Okay, A for P. That's nice.
well,
That's an
that's
easy five.
not okay.
Okay, and Tim can no longer hold on to voice. Saving Muslims for AR7.
Doesn't get you Middle East Dom, but it's problematic. I don't know that you have to event it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Oh, well, it gets you a
No, no, it doesn't
non
with
with
shuttle.
shuttle. Okay,
Shuttle
yeah,
doesn't.
and we
Okay, yeah,
expected
there we
that.
go. Yeah, okay. Now you're cool.
Oh,
Oh,
huge roll
huge,
under Salt.
huge. And if you're David, you have to go Africa.
Yep. Maybe with Nasser. Yeah, now he's going to take a zero op coup in Nigeria, and yeah, that's a miss.
Well, stops control.
Yep, stops control. Okay, here we go. Turn 8. CIA 5-year plan. War games. Do we have a path to
No.
6? We do not. We don't have any VPs here. But yeah, we want to get Asia out of our hands as quickly as humanly possible to reestablish the Middle East situation. If we show Asia with CIA, boy, I wonder if this isn't an Asia headline. We cannot show Asia with CIA.
Well,
Or you can, or do you? How I learned later?
well, right. I mean, so I was gonna say how I learned is in a terrible headline because you can fix Nigeria. You know, you put DEFCON at 2, you fix Nigeria, take Egypt. But then you're stuck with CIA. The
Yeah,
Asia, I mean, Asia's ABM.
yeah.
Well,
ABM's a disaster, but Usuri's gone. Voice. Oh wait, voice is in his hand. Shit, we can't
yeah,
outline a
voice
scoring
is.
into voice, so forget about that.
He's not gonna headline voice. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. He's too far behind. He's gonna hold voice.
Okay, well there it is. Has ABM. So you called it. Um,
Okay. Um, no, you just set it at 3 in Ku Nigeria, I
I
think.
think that's right. Now NORAD's a problem. You can give NORAD later and have it only haunt us for 2 turns, but you can't coup with NORAD.
Yeah, that confuses me. I have definitely made that mistake before. It's not intuitive.
Yeah. So you could set to if you set to 3, you could set to 3 and coup Nigeria, take Africa control. You could set to 3 and give CIA, but if you do that, you're probably eating an Asia Dom.
Yeah,
You could
no.
you could jack DEFCON way up to 5, score Asia, and then give CIA
That
later.
that I like. I like that maybe better.
Um,
Set it to 5, give Asia, let him coup, then you play CIA.
yeah, if you show Asia with
Yeah.
CIA,
No,
then
you're
you're going to
screwed.
see it. Taiwan's going to get filled,
Yeah. Yep.
or just I mean, heck, just allow coup or an Indonesia allows coup or Indonesia coup, and all of a sudden we're dominated, right?
Okay. Well, he sets it at
He's
3 and he gives
gonna
up
give it.
CIA. I guess you could put this one in Taiwan.
Yeah, but then what? But then what about just a three-op coup of
Well,
Laos?
no, because no, DEFCON's going to go to two. There's no cooling Laos.
Sorry, three-op flip. That's what I meant. Three-op
Flip,
flip.
a flip,
Yeah,
yes.
sorry,
Yeah,
but I guess Tim has the ops to counter that.
correct. Um, yeah, no. I think that has to be Taiwan and make them have a four.
Well, that's voice protection because otherwise voice.
I mean, voice is just so painful no matter what.
Yeah, because voice can flip
Right.
Angola. Yeah, so okay. Now to be fair, I don't know what we do have 5 year plan, so we can 5 year plan Asia.
This is true.
I don't
Yeah.
really want to though because of the Middle East situation. I want to neuter shuttle right now. I would score Asia right here.
Yeah, I as would I as would I.
And if you, I mean, yeah, okay, you can overprotect. That's fine.
Three in Israel seems okay. Um, I mean, I was thinking
It's 8 countries to 6,
Taiwan.
which becomes 7 to 6 with shuttle. A
Okay, so you
Laos
can't just take
flip though
Taiwan.
makes it 7-6 David. But yeah, then again, we can 5 year plan Asia. Um, I get overprotecting here is important. And then what else?
It is. I like three in
That's
Israel.
exactly what I like.
Um, I suppose two in Uruguay is not bad. Um,
Oh yeah, okay. Uruguay. Distract David from the Asia situation.
I mean, Brazil's at five, so
Yeah. David's probably going to ignore Asia, assuming we're going to 5 year plan it. I would rather not 5 year plan it, but I guess I also don't really want to hold 5 year
I don't want to
plan
hold five-year
either.
plan. Yeah.
I would rather score it, take my empty AR. I guess it's -1. It is -1, but that could save us 3 in the Middle East if we take Israel.
Yeah, I do think you want to score it and get shuttle out of the way here. Because the other thing is that well, yeah, I think you have hope to get Middle East domed, flip it over, right?
Yeah, or at the
With shuttle out of the
you hope
way.
to at the very least even it up.
No, I don't care.
That was not on my list.
No, no. This is fine. Overprotect, and then the three Israel. Three Israel, I think is right. I mean, two Uruguay again, fine. Okay. At least go one Israel, man.
Israel seems pretty important here.
Yeah,
Okay,
it does. It
there
really
goes the
does.
one in Israel. Okay, Star Wars is active.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so I guess we have to take our real lines on Brazil now, is what David's
I just
saying.
war games realign. Yeah,
Can we hold? Can we space 5 year plan and hold war games?
you could do that. I was thinking about that when you were talking about five-year planning Asia. Um,
Yeah, okay, well, there's a big first roll. 2 misses. Tim needs this one. He gets it.
okay, gets it. Okay,
Huge.
that is big. Okay, I think Tim very clearly in control. I don't. I'm fine putting war games in the discard here at this point.
Yeah, Tim is not gonna should not need war games to win this one. He's got 3 dominations. Asia is even. Okay, hostage crisis would have been nice for him to have. That misses. Yeah, I like scoring Asia. Give the one BP. Now the Middle East situation that doesn't change the domination situation because we haven't taken Israel, but we can do it with Iron Lady or NORAD. We can space 5 year plan. We can hold war games.
Activating.
That is mildly annoying. Takes us a little further away from war games.
Yeah, look, I just play war games. I just put it in the discard. I just take Israel. You're going to give up Iron Lady here. You know, NORAD, you're also going to give up, which is going to allow him to break Israel.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why you're holding war games. I mean, I guess Africa, Europe, and South America are still out there, but
Ah, yeah, this should be a take of
Using
Israel.
Israel.
No. Oh, going to stop Europe, Dom. Okay, and 2 into Israel. I think we need to
Okay.
fight here. This should be 1 into what? Why no?
I mean,
I like the
you
one
got to
into
do.
I like the one into Romania. We had to take Brazil eventually.
Yeah, but you are allowing the just free take here of Israel.
Yeah.
Um,
And hostage crisis is gone. Muslims is gone. So our only hope, our still this is only even. And it misses. Tim
okay,
survives. Got to okay. Well, now you have to retake that.
clearly. What? No,
No,
misclick.
that's
Okay.
just a misclick.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's what I do.
This is yes, that's the
Yep.
play. We're giving up Israel, but we are central. Central's a disaster. And Fidel is gone,
But it
Libs is
scored.
gone, Junta's gone, but that's not scoring again until final. And meantime, we've got 3 DOMs on the board.
Yeah, you got a 3-1 chance here on the scorings. I think any of the scorings, although Africa's maybe four, so Africa doesn't put you over the top.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
Israel.
just take it.
Nope. Oh, got it.
No,
Yeah, got to
okay,
stop Europe
missile
Dom. So
defense.
Europe
Yeah,
that way Europe doesn't get
yeah,
us
yeah.
over the war games threshold. Do we get Reformer? We do, and it's active. Oh, what a hand here! Reformer, OPEC, Purge.
Purge, missile envy, which I don't know where.
Missile Envy is not safe, I do not believe.
Okay, well, yeah, I agree.
But
Um,
Reformer is a great headline here.
yeah, I mean it'll cost David 6 ops to fix the Dom, and you get to break Canada.
Yep. Yeah. Reformer is great here. Yeah, if he has defectors, that's sad, but I think this has to be a Reformer headline.
Yeah, no peak.
Missile Envy, you're happy to see in your hand rather than David's, even though you're not going to
Certainly.
trigger it. Or, oh, and okay, there's VOA.
Yeah, this.
Ortega, you're sad to see in your hand rather than David's. Greece, right?
Yeah, I don't think it
I,
really meant
I don't
much.
even know if I'd break West Germany like that. I might go Benelux and Greece just to maximize the number of ops he has to spend.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean, I
fine.
think either way, it's
Okay, what's VOA going to do here?
um to Algeria. You could also
Yeah,
okay.
this is just something we're going to fix with a 4 up and allow a coup, I think, right?
If yes, if you had Middle East scoring, you would take them out of Middle East.
Yeah. I think you
Um,
just fix that, right? With
wow.
okay, so going to use Missile Envy trying to pull. If you pull, we will bury you. You probably win with OPEC. If you pull a dud though, Tim is thinking we're going to give up a 2 op coup, and
Right.
that's not a disaster. Okay, that worked out great for Tim. That's the exact card he was looking for. In all
Yeah.
honesty,
Yeah. Now, I still think you take. Yeah. Yeah. I think you. I don't know why you just don't take Brazil there, but okay.
you
Uh,
don't want to take. You don't want to just trigger OPEC here.
no, 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 no. You definitely take back South America. Well, why not?
I just mean triggering OPEC. If David takes South America, we just win.
No, I understand, but um, I think with the potential for terrorism, yeah, I like Brazil better. No, I
Yeah.
think just if something wonky happens here, I think you want to have South America.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I would have rather had Brazil than Venezuela. But okay, David can't realign here. He's
See?
got a 20% shot and he misses
Okay.
it.
All right.
GG,
Good gap.
Tim with the victory in game 1. Well played, Timmy.
All right.
Yeah, that was an interesting game, back and forth game. I think I liked Tim's position better for most of the game, but felt like it could have gone either way up until maybe turn 8. What do you think?
Yeah, I think by turn 7-8, Jim was clearly ahead. I think honestly, once he scored that Africa control, um, it was looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, yeah, no question about that. So well played by Tim. Scores that Africa control to get to 11. David weasels out of South America, but 11 VPs is a large number. And then, even more crucially, Looked like with a couple different cards changing hands, Central could have been 7 for David. Instead, it was just 1. And yeah, David just not able to get those big scorings out, and Tim with a couple of big guys there. But okay, we'll move right ahead to game 2.
All
Ted, you
right, give
ready?
me nope, give me 60 seconds.
Okay. All right. I will set up the video.
Sounds good.
In the meantime, we will change it to my setup screen there. Okay. Let's just hang around a second, folks. We're waiting for Ted, and we'll get started with game 2.
All right, I am back, and what a hand for Tim.
Okay. So yeah, this one we'll go ahead and get started here. Tim's the USA for this one, and obviously Middle East headline is nice. The rest of the hand's pretty meh. And a big problem if you get purged. But if you don't get purged, maybe you get this Europe Dom off.
Yeah, I think that's the goal, right? Headline Middle East, and then and then just use one of your 3 ups to take France, and you hope that IP war hits. It's easy space of Fidel, so you're in pretty good shape here. And then you said it, Justin, and this was all your fault.
Spoken into existence. Now Timmy's going to be wanting to dump Europe scoring pretty darn quickly.
Well, because you're afraid of block.
Well, because we're not scoring this Dom.
You might. The
No, we are not scoring this
crazy
Dom.
Afghanistan play. A man after my own heart here
Yep, I
with
know Ted
this.
loves to score domination in Asia. Oh, wow, just an
And
immediate
then just
pack
gonna
flip.
flip it. Look
Not
at this.
even gonna bother with the
Aggressive.
coup.
Aggressive. Okay, yeah. And then oh
We're getting that's the play of a man who has Asia, right?
yeah, I don't I, yeah.
Yeah, there it is,
Yep.
and that's 6
Yep.
VPs.
Okay.
David,
Man, I like that. I really have to say I like that. You purge him, Middle East gets scored, so who cares about the coup in Iran? And you just say, look, you go ahead, take Pakistan. I'm gonna flip it. You're not gonna coup it. You have a 1/3 shot on IP war, and I'm just gonna take my dom. And so here, I think Tim is gonna go for Europe.
yeah. So yeah, 25% chance that Tim has the war, and then even then,
Okay,
only
well
a
now Tim is sad.
yeah. Down Tim's going to be sad. We're going to dump immediately.
You must. Although, well, the problem with doing that is Italy's at 2 and DEFCON's at 5. Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather dump this? Doesn't dumping the scoring get
I don't
us?
know,
I
man.
don't
Then
like giving Fidel here.
you get no. I don't see any reason to do
I
that.
guess. I guess. I guess you.
You
He
hold
wants to hold
defectors.
defectors.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
But no, look. Yeah, you sure you dump the scoring, but then you get could like this. And now you can take it back with Comic Con.
yeah.
No, I like that play by Tim. I think that was smart. I think that the instinct is to give up give up Europe scoring there, but the Italy at 2, DEFCON at 5. I think that was well played by Tim. Good awareness.
Okay. Tim now going to give up a couple of points on Millops. But he'll get out of Europe here, presumably for 0, unless David has another 4-op, which I cannot imagine that he does, given that he just gave Marshall to coup Italy, which is a very odd decision.
I would have liked it if Italy was at two. I like it less when Italy's at three.
Yeah. Okay. Tim scores Europe, gives up two. Okay, well, that turn could have gone a lot worse for Tim. It certainly didn't go well for him, but that could have been much worse, I feel like.
Yeah, and this is garb fucking budge. This is shit. This is terrible. You captured Nazis, okay, and then you're gonna
What are you hoping
blockade
to hit with
Eastall.
defectors? DEFCON is at 5.
I don't know. I got lazy and wasn't
What, so
keeping track.
Govs is
So
gone.
that goes done.
Suez and De Gaulle are around, but
Who cares?
they're not that strong. I mean, Suez is
Decall.
annoying.
Not gonna decall.
Yeah,
No,
AI war is annoying in the Middle East. So
yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
that's a fine hit there.
Suez also annoying in the Middle East.
Yeah. Okay, this will be a UN, presumably if NORAD or US, Japan. No, NATO. Another coup on Italy, and this one misses as well.
One India, one Malaysia seems good.
Yeah. I'd like to use China this turn. Problem is, we don't have another card to discard to blockade other than destall. So if we use China, we're probably holding both blockade and destall.
Well, now
That's
I use China.
that's a weird. That's a little bit of a weird play from David.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, hmm,
Suez here would be incredibly annoying, but if David had Suez, he would have triggered it last AR.
yeah, I agree.
Timmy running out of ops here.
Yeah, he really isn't in a real high. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Mean, mean, mean. I guess it's not. I mean, I don't know. You're in Pakistan, so
Yeah,
who
but
cares?
if you hit on Iran on the first roll, Pakistan's +2.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I like Tim prioritizing Europe. David still no presence in the Middle East here. Um,
Okay, we have
and
DEFCON
that's
4
four.
decall.
Yeah, and then I just go into Malaysia, right? You have China. No, 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 no.
Oh boy, I don't love
I
that.
don't
Now David just
know.
gets a nice coup back on Nigeria and takes Thailand.
Yeah, I like going one to Malaysia. You have the China card. He wants to take Thailand. You coup the shit out that with China.
Yeah. Okay.
Early containment.
So we're still like probably gonna get one out of it because I think I'd rather have the two VP than the two ops
Yeah, I absolutely would.
of CNS. This is
Malaysia!
Lebanon and Malaysia, please. Why not Lebanon and Malaysia?
Tim just is like, I'm Europe is mine. I will have Europe, and I'll hear nothing of it.
Suez is around. Um. Okay, empty 5 year plan of yeah. I don't know. I that had to be Lebanon. At least Lebanon. Yeah, he was going to take Thailand regardless. But okay, I like my two VPs here. Don't you?
I do.
Why? I
No,
mean, you know I'm a big France
no.
overprotector, but
If
I like two VPs in the bank right now as
yeah,
opposed
if you're gonna
to
play it for ops, I like Egypt better.
yeah. Nasser is what's the situation with
Because
Nasser?
you have Suez, well, yeah, Nasser, but like Suez and a coup, and then it just, oh my
Okay,
God.
Suez. We don't get Suez.
Suez and a coup is a problem. I mean, I get you're in Turkey, so
Still
you
annoying.
can
So
put
now
Suez
Nasser,
for
and is
Turkey.
Nasser in David's hand?
I don't think we've seen Nasser.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it either. So we didn't get into Egypt. I don't know. I thought we would have played China there and maybe held
All right, well,
Dsol
moving on because now we have an exciting headline, Justin.
5 year plan.
Yeah, it has to be five-year plan.
5 year plan can pick up Nasser, can pick up De Gaulle. Um, what else can it pick up? Olympics. 5 year plan's way more fun.
Either of the D cards, both of which would be redraws, but still,
Yeah,
that would have been fun.
yeah, that would have been definitely would have been fun. That would have been a great pickup.
Okay,
And isn't
so he goes.
CIA? What's the situation with CIA?
No, he Tim played it last turn with under containment when
Right, but
Connor.
it could be. It
It could,
could
yes, yes.
theoretically be in
This is
David's
true.
hand.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Which makes 5-year plan even better.
So we took India and South Korea, but we left Algeria.
We did leave Algeria, and it didn't stop Dom.
I think I would have rather had Algeria, South Korea.
He's gonna go Algeria, certainly. Yeah. Oh,
No, he will
no,
not.
no one likes Algeria.
Worried about a China flip of Pakistan. This will be Algeria. Okay.
No. Yep. And Tim can take or can take Japan here to even things up.
Yep. And Tim just played U.S. Japan for ops, so if he wants to even things up, he's going to have to do exactly that. I think
I
David
think
would have
that's fine.
scored Asia instead of that play
Yes.
if he had it.
Yes. 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 There's no reason. Okay. Sure.
And we space and miss. So yeah, I
All
think
right. If Tim is card tracking here, I do wonder. I've had too much to drink and this is too fast, and so I have no idea what hits in David's hand. But 5-year plan.
any of
Uh,
these cards would have been better than I think than an Olympics headline. Picking up a guilt-free 3 is fine. A guilt-free 4, hitting defectors would have also been fine, and just not letting them hold a card.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Make things a little awkward.
I don't know that we needed that in Italy, but okay.
Tim
Tim
really,
really,
yeah,
really conservative in Europe.
really protecting Europe hard. Okay, that
Mhm.
Tim needs to take Japan.
He really does. Yeah.
He played USJ for ops. It is not coming back, and that's the only way we're going to stop Dom here in Asia.
Okay. Um,
That's fine. So
okay. So one
UK.
Japan, one France, UK. If he's been so zealous. What?
No, no, no! Don't do this because you
What?
got to
Just
take
5-year
Dom
plan. What
back.
are you doing?
You got to take Dom back.
Yeah, I don't.
I would rather
What?
take Dom back. I think, but
And
okay.
now 5-year plan is gonna be played for ops. Look at this. Look at all this shit.
Okay. Well, Grain stealing a card, then 5-year plan for the event. Make him miss an AR. Could maybe a little bit spicy there.
Yeah, you can 5-year plan because there's Duck and Olympics.
Yeah,
Obviously, need
these are a
this
bunch of
card. So
cards. This is a
these are all
fine hand, but
events.
these are also a bunch of cards I'd love to see in my opponent's hand as well, other than Brush, of course. But yeah,
These are all events.
yeah. These are all cards
Absolutely,
you want to
these are
trigger. So
all
obviously,
fucking events.
explain to me why that was not Grain.
I cannot.
Why was that not Grain, Ted?
I don't. I do not
Get
know.
ourselves a coup
Yup.
in Africa,
Yup. Mm-hmm.
and then you can event 5-year plan later to make a miss an AR.
Yep. I think you got to brush for Venezuela right now.
Yeah, I don't know what Tim is waiting for.
No, I don't like this. I mean, okay. What? No, play that.
Trigger that.
Yeah. You event
Trigger
that.
that.
You absolutely event that.
What are you cooing, Tim? What are you cooing?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not lose the game.
Well,
Well,
shit.
shit,
Yes.
indeed. Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit.
I don't know why he played Bear Trap first. Yeah, trigger
Uh,
this.
okay, okay.
But this is just going to make him spread out to say, I don't understand why don't you brush?
No. I like brush war better.
I mean,
I
that's what
mean,
brush war is for.
yeah, you can brush Thailand, so it's maybe not the end of the world, but yeah, just boom, boom, boom. There we go. But now you kind of have to brush Brazil.
You can still go Venezuela with it at 4, I guess.
I mean, sure, whatever.
Oh, does
Okay,
go
yeah,
Thailand. He hits the roll.
Thailand, yeah, yeah.
And now, The only issue that's obviously great, but the only issue with that is you may lose a country count fight here in Asia.
You may. Philippines. Yep. Well, yep.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So yeah, Tim needs Burma, Philippines, and Taiwan if he wants Dom. But okay, Tim picks up a couple VPs. David certainly would have headlined, not headlined, but he
I
would
don't
have
know.
played Europe if he had it. Oh
Okay.
boy.
Well. All right.
Okay, good. So Tim immediately saves four VPs with the Thailand play. I would
Yeah.
have rather gone Venezuela, but you know what? Good play for Tim. It works out for him.
Yep. He also can't forget to take Europe Dom back here
Yep.
at some point. Um.
Space of Camp David suggests Camp David's quite annoying here, but it's hardly a disaster. So that suggests nothing
Okay.
particularly spicy in David's hand.
Okay. Okay.
But he's going to have to play them both anyway. Tim does take Europe Dom back. There's Sadat.
Yeah, which is why you don't want to play Camp David.
Yep.
Okay, I think you absolutely have to take Egypt now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Don't even think about it. You take Egypt, stops Dom. Maybe even think about getting into Jordan. Maybe think about getting into Burma.
Yeah, I might go Egypt and then to Burma. I don't know where IP war is. I
Uh,
know Southeast Asia just
we
gets
saw it turn
scored.
one.
Okay, so I like Egypt and probably to Burma. Protects
Is a
India.
Nigeria flip? I know we have to take Egypt. We have to take
You have to
Egypt.
take you have to take
So
Egypt.
yeah, I
Um,
don't hate Burma here. Could contribute to an Asia country count situation. What does that do?
I would rather poke Brazil if I'm gonna poke anywhere.
Yeah, we're okay.
And now what are you gonna do? You gonna space wheel bury you, or are you gonna event 5-year plan?
Okay, that's certainly
Justin's
nice
happy.
to see
Big
because
boy.
that's got to take Panama back and then just one in Poland. Warsaw is I want to say in the discard.
Okay. Okay. Wow. What a Kennedy hand. What a
Okay,
fucking
wow,
Kennedy
that
hand.
is a seven card Kennedy discard.
Wow.
And
He's
I don't
headlined
think I
this.
see a need to headline voice. Right?
I
Don't you?
mean, Africa, it gives you Africa Dom. Gives you Africa Dom.
But then you got a Kennedy AR1.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I personally would play Kennedy, but I think the argument for voice and it kind of gives you Asia Dom too.
Yeah.
Two,
If David is
five,
thinking about headlining a scoring here.
6, 7. I mean, you'd have to use all of them. Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is going to tell us a lot about David's hand, I think.
So VOA Libya makes sense. Oh, just gonna go. Oh, gonna go realigns. Okay, that makes sense, and that makes sense. Okay, those were +2 and +2, and Egypt is +1 as well. India was even. Okay, VOA should be Libya, right?
Libya and then the two African one stabs.
Yeah, I think that's right.
No, DEFCON's at 4, and Timmy does not have a great coup card.
No, that's the problem with headlining voice is you have to play Kennedy AR1 unless you're going to play China. Yeah, I think this is. I think it's two there, and I think it's got to be Libya, right?
Hmm.
Would have rather gone Libya, but again, Egypt's just going to get cooed. So
Right, right. Yeah, that's the issue. Okay, so now I think this is what Tim wanted. Yeah, okay. And now, do you coup Pakistan? Is that insane with China?
that's insane. That
This
no, you're
is the other
cooing.
thing.
Yeah,
Angola.
you give up.
Yeah, you give up the 3. Okay, all right. Yeah, yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah, cooing Pakistan. No, because that's not going to get you Dom. I don't think. I think I like this. You're going to give up the 3, but as long as Africa actually scores, we'll get it back. Now is Kennedy, right?
Now it's gonna be. Yeah,
No,
you
no
have to.
reason
You
not to.
must.
Okay, this could be get back into
Okay,
Egypt
so
and then a
2 Egypt, one India,
Nigeria
one Zaire.
overprotect. And in India,
No, no, I think okay. All right, fine.
I would have thought India instead
I would yeah, or instead of
because
Zaire.
the Zaire play.
Yeah, I think Decal's probably oh, it's in his hand,
Yeah,
so
it
never mind.
sure is.
Okay, you just gotta ignore that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
ignore
gotta
that.
yeah.
Now this is Kennedy.
Well, no, Che is free.
Oh, that's true.
Our 8 card Kennedy here is proving to we're idiots, Justin. This is just a playable hand, totally playable hand. Can just hold Kennedy. It's fine.
Still not thrilled about giving up the four
That's
in
fine.
South America. I think you're still after
No,
Kennedy.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You still
Yes.
Kennedy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, well now. Oh man. Okay. Well, I was gonna say now do you space and
No,
let him
that's
spend
too
the
cute.
ops.
Okay, these cards are better.
These are better cards.
These
Yep.
cards are
You,
better.
you like all of
I
these?
wish we had had these in the headline. Um,
Well,
okay, well, that's nasty. That's four.
hmm. Well now Usuri. Fucking play Usuri. Go 2 into Thailand.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Usuri taking Thailand back immediately.
And
Oh,
flipping
yeah, that's
Lao.
huge. Oh, yeah. Nicely done. Timmy sees it.
Yeah.
Timmy sees it. Can we get Dom here? We only have 5 countries to 7. So
I still think
Philippines, yeah, yeah.
I think
So
you
this
just
is
do
fine.
it.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah, I
need to
think you
do
just do it.
Philippines. This is good. So yeah, we now have 6. It's 6-6 now. Yeah, that's huge. Okay, Timmy just needs his scorings to score. He's down
Look,
10. Obviously the nightmare scenario is libs and a flip of Mexico and a score GG.
yeah,
Um,
it is true. You know, maybe do you put oh interest oh missile envy.
yeah,
Yeah,
not even thinking about that.
yeah. I don't know what else is out there. Nope,
That.
nope. Just yeah, that's
So this is, I think you
that was
just
a
coup
little
Panama,
sloppy by
right?
David, I think, to be honest with you. And rolls a one.
Sorry, what'd you say? A
I
mistake?
I,
Yeah.
I I think that was a little sloppy by David. This the possibility of that happening. I think it was just too
Well,
high
honestly,
there.
worked out great for
True.
him. Or it was neutral. It was after that. It was basically neutral because Tim missed on his coup. Here we go. Asia. Okay, 3 scorings. Um,
Oh
not a
man, what do you have
lot of
headline
ops. Boy,
here?
temptation is
Purge.
purge, but boy, you need some ops.
OAS can just straight up take Argentina.
But you have 3 scoring cards that are not that one.
No, I
That's
know, but
literally the
my
only region that's scored.
yeah, no, I understand that. But I like distracting David. Yeah, no, I think this is the right play because I don't want him cooing in Africa. I don't want to give him a just nice easy coup in Africa. If you want to put 2 in Panama, fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And he might headline Central. I think you want to avoid him cooing Africa
Yeah,
at
you
all costs.
yeah, you do, and also libs.
Also
A
lives.
libs headline
Yeah,
flipping over
is
Mexico is a
yeah.
disaster. So if you see libs, you can put these 2 in
To
Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah, no, I think this is the right headline.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to see one. If we don't see libs, I'd like to see maybe just the one in Panama and one in Argentina or Chile,
What?
just to get
Yeah,
something down there.
yeah, 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 yeah. I like that. Yeah, and
But
then let
now
him
we
shoot.
should still be able to score our dom if we get cooed out of Nigeria. Um, the other thing is, and Africa headline was safe, wasn't it?
I think so.
Portuguese would have stopped dom.
No, Portuguese is gone.
Yeah, that's very bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
Quagmire is always bad. No, I don't.
Yeah, I like the one Panama, one Argentina.
But I guess that's much less effective after a quag.
Yes, correct, because then he just fixes.
This is better after quag.
Now David, I might if I'm David, I might coup Nigeria.
Yeah, coup Nigeria. If we miss a roll, then he goes to Cameroon and gets Zaire as
Mm,
well. Which is a complete disaster for us. Tim's already going to eat a dom in the Middle East of at least four. Central could be another 4 or 5.
yeah, but if you can hold on to Africa, Africa's five right now. It's coup
Yeah,
Nigeria. Yeah. Okay,
yeah. This is
Africa
he's
going
got to
for
hit it, and he
five.
does. So Tim out in one in both trap situations. Now Tim needs to,
Take Nigeria and Asia
yeah,
Dom,
got to
and
take got
then
to take
score, score, score.
Zaire. Is that going to be Chile? Yeah. Okay. Got it. So we're now down 4 countries to 3 in Africa. So we may not be scoring this dom. You're going to
Well,
have to use purge here.
no, no. Hmm? Yeah, okay, all right, fine. And if he stops at one, you score the other.
Yeah, but the problem is David can stop Africa dom with just a one-op placement. One anywhere. Yeah, I like Burma. That forces him to have a 3 op to stop both DOMs. Or that in Asia. Oh,
Okay, all
now you
right.
dump
That's
Africa
I think
immediately.
that might be GG.
No, no. Tim's. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a problem. Now,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now we got to dump
I
Asia.
told you.
Asia's even. Middle East is going to be 4. Okay. Yeah. This is.
Special gets you two, China, Nixon gets you two, and then Yuku with.
Yeah. So that just takes back the Middle East points, is all that does. Woof.
Okay, yeah, that's GG.
Now we have to.
Yeah, you have to play it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to play these first. Yeah, Tim says felt like Tal was about to say something nice about me, then Ted interrupted. Yeah, Tim's investment in Europe has not paid off for him,
No, it is not.
as everything else is going to score before it.
No, yeah. Okay.
17. We need a coup, and then we need a hold Nixon, which will be played for the VPs, and we're going to try and hang on with Europe. Yeah, this has to be a coup. Ugh. We don't get Europe. Alliance is just 2.
You have to play Missile Envy here,
Missiles a
just for the
redraw, right?
shits and gigs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shits and gigs for sure.
I mean, Poppets is okay. Just for the Haiti, Nicaragua, Peru shenanigans.
I
But
think you play Missile Envy
I think you
here
have to play Missile Envy.
to
Yeah, I agree.
prevent
I
some
think
kind
it's
of
just the
play,
biggest swing.
some kind of combo.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I think
South
it's just the.
African
Okay, who cares?
is not a big deal. Tim probably knows what he's getting for the most part, but I think it's just a matter of. Okay, that's a nice pull.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a very nice pull.
yeah. That's annoying. Um,
Well, you got to overprotect
yeah. Do you do flower
Zaire.
power here? You can't play U2 because you have UN.
Yeah, you can
You,
UN.
why?
I would have rather space that one UN one of the
Yeah,
other ones,
yeah,
right?
I agree. I have no issue UNing flower power, I guess.
Yeah.
spacing libs playing the others.
Yeah, I mean, Alliance is 2, Nixon is 2. Okay,
Okay, I like that.
that's fine. He's not taking Zaire now,
No.
giving us 2 plus 2 realigns. That would be crazy.
Okay. Kind of in the same situation you just were. Um, I don't know what
Why?
this
Why
obsession.
are
I
we
don't know.
UNing
I space
libs?
that.
So look, if we can get Europe for off for 5, we can get Alliance for 2, Nixon for 2. That's 9 gets it to 5. That's past. That's under War Games range.
Well, you two
Yeah. Oh, one small step. That's very early. One small step. Okay, so that must have been why Tim didn't want to.
space.
Yeah.
Still think you space Portuguese. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's, yeah.
And then
Tim wants these
I
space
might space
VPs.
you too, to be honest with you.
This would be nice if he gets a miss out of it. He does. I'm absolutely spacing you two
Yeah,
here.
space you too.
It could be a 3 VP swing.
Or not.
I don't understand that. Would much rather get. I'd much rather potentially get 2 VPs there.
Yeah, I know. Those are his only. I mean, I guess you'd have to coup flower power.
Yeah, you're right. So you're essentially it's a 1 VP. Okay, fine, Tim.
Yeah. Okay. And then you just have to score both of these.
I mean 5 year plan? We had 5 year plan on turn 4 or 5. So David doesn't have it.
No, no. I just avenge
Is
your
there
whole
a
thing.
Poland jam play here?
Well, there's that. I think the issue with Poland is Warsaw's still out and about.
Yeah. Are we behind enough where we are thinking
Don't
about
care.
Europe
Okay.
and we hope he doesn't get it? Okay. All right, so we're going to pass up these VPs. Yeah, that IP. You're right. That you are right. That IP war drastically changes the game. If he misses that IP war and we score both Africa and Asia Dom,
Okay. Yep. I get rid of arms race
I would get
for
rid of arms
sure.
race as well.
And Asia.
Do you get rid of Asia, or do you hope
Yeah.
we can hit a
No.
war?
No. 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 You want to shorten the deck here,
Yeah,
for more DEFCON cards,
and Europe
more blue
attack cards, I
cards.
guess, as
Yeah.
well.
You absolutely want to shorten the deck. No question about it. Interesting though, Tim put that one in Egypt right before this, and otherwise our man just pokes it.
Yep.
So I don't know what the impetus there by Tim was, but
So yeah, good,
that was
a good play. He clearly knew our man was coming and really wanted it.
yeah, he must have known our man was in his hand. Yeah, that was smart. That was smart. I guess. Okay, we have Nixon, and this is shit.
This is shit. Yeah, we've got some unplayable cards here.
Tim says Nixon or cultural's the other card.
Okay, so that's why we hung on to Nixon. Yeah, so they were playing little China chicken there.
Uh,
Hell yeah, headline. Reagan bombs for 1 VP.
well, I think
Is
Nixon.
it
I mean,
just Nixon and
it's
then you let him
cultural,
take it
but
back with China? Gunman. This is a
oh
really bad hand to show with Gunman.
boy.
This is a really bad hand to show with Gunman.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about you playing Iranian hostage crisis, not worry about terrorism this turn at least.
Yeah,
I always forget that hostage crisis sticks through and terrorism is effective for the rest of the game.
yeah. Okay, just a coup and presumably going to take Venezuela back.
License. Yep. Let's take this one Okay.
Okay, and so he doesn't have war games. So this game will get to another turn.
What do you do here now? I mean,
Do you just dump Middle East? I guess you can't if you because it's only going to get worse.
how is it going to get worse?
Well, Saudi is going to get taken.
I mean, okay, you take Israel. It's three to two. Yeah, I mean, I think you need to overprotect Angola. I don't know that. Okay.
Do we need to use the four? I'd like to think about a Europe play here.
You just gonna start jamming shit?
No, 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 no. I'm thinking later. Not an AR7 jam of Poland, perhaps if David doesn't overprotect. Um,
Okay.
got
I like
holding
that. I like that coup.
holding
You
the
know,
known Middle East scoring. Okay, gives us Dom. He knows we don't have the scoring though.
no, it doesn't give Dom. He's just trying to get himself in a
Yeah.
realign position. That's
Yes,
that's
yes.
all.
Trying to get fight hard here.
And then if he misses on the coup, if I'm David, I just poke Brazil and do whatever else I want. No, he's gonna coup back. Okay, now
With
U.S.
what?
Japan,
Got it. You got to use the
U.S. Japan.
four.
It has to be U.S. Japan.
Okay, plus
Okay,
three now.
plus
Tim
three.
does get
Okay,
the flip, so now he has
I
Dom,
might,
and
I
then
might do
this.
Brazil. I might do Brazil. I might get greedy.
Oh, he gets super
Oh
greedy with Chile, and he hits the roll. That's huge.
no no no!
Not that. Don't do
It's
that.
Brazil. Brazil at plus two. Fine.
Panama at even. See if you can get crazy
Cuba
lucky
at
again.
minus one. Okay.
He
All right.
beat him by two on the roll, so Panama would have been nice too. But okay, okay, that worked out incredibly well for Timmy.
The only problem is what you obviously OPEC's unplayable. Um,
Decal's a serious problem as well.
yeah. So I think you're playing Marine Barrack.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck. So that'll go to Chile.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
we're gonna lose another VP on the Middle East because we're not taking Israel.
Fire here. I don't know where Brush War is, but
Again, a big roll. Can he get the double space?
yeah.
Timmy didn't take the double space last turn. Okay, he gets it this time, hits both, and David misses. All right. Now he's still got to give Middle East, which is still going to be five. And boy, it is getting late early here. You've got to get the scoring out. There it is. So 13.
Yeah, and now they're still continuing to play China Chicken. Oh, okay.
Yep, and there it
So,
is.
oh, we forgot about that, huh?
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was looking at it. Okay, this hand much better.
Yeah, this is a good hand all the way around.
Still not a hand for attacking Europe though. Is it just junta? What can Star Wars get us?
Where's Brush?
Flower power is in effect. I'm not pulling
Yeah,
for. I'm
okay,
not
yeah.
pulling that.
Just that seems to be the card I think that is ABM down there or no?
I don't think we've seen ABM since the reshuffle. I think
I know.
it's just a junta here. That is a concern that a man with war games would headline that card. Okay, Timmy flipping battlegrounds in the Americas left and right here.
Now he's doing that thing where you have to click a bunch of times to get how I learned to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Gonna set DEFCON to 5.
Huh. I might play voice now. Take two out of Chile and or I guess you could coup Thailand. Coup Thailand seems all right.
Timmy counting up DEFCON cards here, presumably. But he has no way to lower DEFCON twice. Also, David is still as cultural.
Yeah. Which with Timmy with Nixon isn't going to do him any good. Um,
So what do you want to coup? If you coup, you really don't want to eat a coup in Zaire. Well, Angola. It would be Angola. Because that flips over Dom. It's a huge
yeah,
problem.
I mean that I think I coup Thailand.
Okay, not cooing at all and flipping
Right.
over a Dom is fine. Give us the last coup.
I don't know, man. I like coup in Thailand because then he fixes and then you coup again, so you get two. I mean, you don't have great. The issue is you don't really have great coup targets. Let me
Well,
just
the
find
other
my
issue is you
series.
hit the roll and then you're just getting cooed in Africa.
Well, you got coup in Africa anyway,
Yeah,
so
well, now you just have to coup back and hope you get a big number, right?
no, 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 no. I don't like using China here. If I'm gonna use China, I want to flip Thailand. Okay, but gets it.
Yeah, I would have liked the Thailand flip as well. But yeah, just enough. Okay, there's a space of grain.
Okay, now I might Star Wars for that.
What else? So there's teardown, right? That's it?
Right. Yeah, I think that's
And
it.
your Star Wars for grain, hope he has teardown?
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, just cutting his hand. His hand's ugly, obviously.
Yeah. And teardown's bad to give here.
Teardown's very bad to give. So
Um,
I like the Star Wars of grain.
I mean, sorry. I mean, teardown is GG if David has to play it on his turn at DEFCON 2.
Right. No, no, no. But like getting it
Yeah.
evented.
But just eventing it above DEFCON 2 is
Right.
very bad as well. Um, Timmy pointing out that CIA is still around as well.
CIA is still around. Okay. Yep. Now,
Well,
so
I
I
feel
did
like David
Star Wars of grain, Star Wars
would
grain.
have.
The other thing you could do is you could play voice here, right, and make him play a playable card.
Well, I think if Star Wars is going to pull grain, you want it
You
to
want
pull
to,
a
yeah,
playable card.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, see, I feel like David is ahead by enough. Although, well, I mean, we
No,
now
I
have
think
three Doms on the board. What? Nope,
no.
not that. Whatever you're going to do, it wasn't that. This
Well, doesn't he have cultural?
is yeah. Oh, that's really bad because now you give him a face up China, right? If he has cultural, yeah. Now China's face up.
Uh,
So now Star Wars pulling something doesn't
doesn't
win
do
you the
anything.
game. Star Wars pulling something, assuming he has a CIA or teardown, is not GG because he can play China.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think that needed to
now
be
you're
Star
going to
Wars
hold Star Wars
Ukraine.
to next turn.
Yeah, which is fine. That's fine.
Oh boy, if that is our plan, if that was our plan, then that was a bad mistake. But maybe that's not Tim's plan.
I mean, what is the plan?
Yeah, he's looking in the discard pile, not seeing anything great there. Let's look at it in final. Let's assume South and Central score. That's 7 for Timmy, so Timmy's down 4. Timmy is dominated. Okay, what's that for? Is that for Europe? Is he thinking about a Poland flip?
Well,
Okay,
that's nice.
that's very
That's
helpful.
very nice.
Okay, it's again 10 plus 5 in Europe, 5 more in South America. But yeah, we need. I guess Tim's thinking we're going to flip stuff. He wants to play VOA at the end of this turn on AR7 and then Muslims AR8 to flip it, anything. Okay, an early Chernobyl.
Yeah, man, that Star Wars in Ukraine would have been real nice.
So now you can flip, so you can keep, yeah, you can do that. Um,
Why Asia? Why Asia? I guess you can poke Thailand, or
yeah,
you're gonna
I think he wants to
voice
flip
early.
Thailand. I think he wants to flip Thailand. He's going to go
You can play.
voice.
You can voice double voice. You can double up on voice
Yeah, and then you flip
with Star
over,
Wars.
and then you can flip voice and then shuttle
The thing
AR8.
is you didn't. But
Okay.
you didn't need to do that. He played North Sea Oil. He could just do voice and then Star Wars voice again.
Yeah, maybe I think he's seems to be at this point saving Star Wars, hoping we don't get hit with teardown or excuse me terrorism slash Aldrich and maybe Star Wars for voice on turn 10.
No. He played North Sea Oil. He's gonna play.
I assumed we would just play. He'd just play shuttle
Okay. All right. Yeah. And
because you
yeah.
can use
All right.
shuttle
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. No,
But yeah,
I like this. Yep. And then just shoot out
voice
of
makes
Chile.
sense. You voice that, and then you can voice again
hmm
Thailand
I
and
think going on
Chile.
Chile is better, but
I was assuming he would just take Thailand here,
yeah,
put all
you just
three into Thailand, stops
yeah,
Asia Dom.
right. Which is why I like taking him out of Chile more than I like Libya.
Yeah,
Libya's
and
not
Tim's
getting
saying
Asia
now that
Dom.
he thinks final scoring is a decent shot, which it is. You've got a lot of work to do turn 10 though. Boy, you got to shore up Asia, make sure it doesn't get poked because we're way down country count. You got to take Israel. You've got to take Libya. You need a scoring or two to come, right?
Yeah.
Um, you got to get those off. You got to not get hit with Aldrich. Okay, he's going with your play. No, Alliance. He's going with Alliance. Right? 5 VPs immediately.
Makes sense. I think I think I'd rather play shuttle here, see what I draw. Because if you draw war games, then you don't need to do the 5 BP for Alliance immediately, right?
Yeah.
It is reasonable here,
Yeah,
but
I don't know why we needed to play. I think I would have rather had the that's I'm fine with this, but I think I would have rather had the 3 ops of North Sea because that doesn't give. Okay, well we get
well,
Africa, that's
yeah,
good. We get
yeah,
terrorism, that's good. We get defectors.
which I well, that's just your headline.
Is
You also
it? Because we're
especially
going
want
to eat a coup in Africa immediately, and that flips over Dom, doesn't it?
as opposed to well, oh, so you're thinking you headline Africa?
Yeah, I'm worried about that, right? Because if you headline Africa, you're going to get coup in Angola. That's an 8 VP swing in Africa. That's a disaster. But again, you can't. But Aldrich's also a disaster. So okay, well that would have been really bad too.
Yeah, I like defectors
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I know you're right.
I know what you're saying. You're right. You're right that a coup in Africa here is awful. And here it
It
comes.
needs to be a 1. Yeah, and now
It's not. Yeah,
we're gonna have to brush in Africa, right? We got to take back. We've
you
got
got
to
to
take
brush
back Thailand
Nigeria.
immediately. Right now, we're taking back
Take, take,
Thailand.
take, take, take. You have
Uh,
to do all three.
all
Should
three,
you? Should
all
do all
three.
three. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is fine.
This is fine. Yep. Lock this in. Now we could still get South Korea or Japan jammed, but there's nothing we can do about that at the moment. Oh, and there it is.
He's going to
So
take
that's
brush or are
gonna
you going to take
pull.
special?
That's gonna pull brush. Special's just yeah. That's gonna pull brush,
Well, yeah, I mean,
right?
brush
Isn't
is,
it?
well, brush flower power is in effect. But
Well, it depends on whether David thinks he's winning or losing. Yeah, David thinks just two VPs. That suggests maybe.
I mean, there's a 4 VP swing right there. It's a guaranteed 4 VP swing.
Yeah, you're right.
Um,
Also, Latin
Now
American debt crisis is a
obviously
big problem, um, and we can't discard to it now.
it's not that big of a problem. I don't think it's that big of a problem.
Well, we have to put another one in Brazil before we trigger it, right?
Yeah, and then yeah,
Because if we trigger it now, Brazil goes to 8. We put it back. It's 9-8. That's a problem. So and obviously reformer is unacceptable. But he doesn't. Yeah. So brush, I feel like it's Nigeria now, right? Oh, okay. Tim's saying he can trigger it, realign Brazil
yeah,
with
that's
the
smart.
ops.
Which I think you're probably desperate enough to do. Um,
But I think now don't you brush Nigeria, right? You
yeah, you
have
have to.
to.
You have to before the coup Cameroon.
Yeah. Obviously the war games, of course, though with brush. If you brush now
And you miss.
and you miss, it's war games. Even if you hit, it's war games because David is the higher seed here.
Seed.
All right, so Tim takes a coup of Haiti. Okay, so Tim is betting on.
Man, I might have invented that if I was David.
David seems like a man who has central scoring. Yeah, if you trigger brush, win or lose. That's why. Okay, that's why David didn't pull brush. It's a 4 VP swing, and if Tim triggers brush right here, whether he wins it or loses it, if David has war games, that's good enough. But if you concede an Africa Dom here, you go down 9. Brush, I don't know, right? I mean, I feel like brush, and you're going to have to play one of them AR6 and one of them AR7. And you have no other way to get VPs except to hope that David has. I mean, he could even have. No, there's no way because David
No,
would
there's
hold the
nothing.
scoring.
There's nothing.
Even if he had both Central and South. Okay, Tim thinking about double space here. That's his only. Okay. That's his only path to more VPs. Is.
And now jam. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. And now Tim's going to space reformer and miss. Okay. So now Timmy is, I believe, cooked here because he's got a trigger brush.
I mean, yeah, that IP war. There it comes. There it is
Yeah,
again. No, that IP war of India. What was that? Turn 7.
yeah.
Did it? Yeah. And now Nigeria.
And he misses. That's GG in final. Anyway, with or without war games, that's 3 doms on the board for David, plus a 7 VP lead, plus Tim's going to have to score this Africa dom for him. Okay, so we will head to game 3 here. Okay, no war games for David. David's gamble pays off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries to 5 for Timmy. Sock govs for the event. Yeah, you just have to repair that.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So what would it have been if that brush hits? Is there even is there it's a 16
9, right? 9.
17, yeah. I mean,
That doesn't matter.
well, no, it's 16. Right? Theoretically, assuming Tim scores, assuming that
Oh, does it flip?
because
flip
it's
dom?
that flipped dom. Wow, that was a full flip there.
But even still,
Yeah, so that would have been a 16 V now, and David would have played that differently as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So even then, oh no, wait, 17 because Tim would have gotten the one VP for the war.
okay.
But even then, David survives on a tie. So yeah, not sure what Tim was. Tim just he didn't have the ops there that turn. Tim could have scored Africa in the headline, as I pointed out, but then he would have been purged. Yeah, Tim also pointing out that he missed the space roll. So yeah, I guess if he hits the space roll and hits the brush roll and gets Africa Dom off, and then gets it off again in final, then yeah. But that's a lot. So yeah, a couple of big misses there for Tim. But okay, we are on to game 3, and so I saw that they said they were gonna be playing that one Friday, so a couple days from now. So get excited for that one, folks. I hope it's at a reasonable hour and we can do that one live. But I think that's it. Ted, any final thoughts on this one?
No, it was fun. Good two games there. A lot of interesting decisions. So appreciate Tim doing that. It's never easy to watch people, critique your play. So,
Yep.
thank you, Tim.
Yeah, and I think that IP war, damn, just so
Yeah,
huge.
no,
You pointed it out. That was the turning point. If that IP war misses, Tim probably scores Dom in Asia in immediately and on turn 7, and then again later in final. So, or at least stops David's Dom. But anyway, well, that's it. So thanks everybody for watching. Tim and David split. We'll see their third game on Friday. Hope to bring that one to you. But until next time, for Ted Livermore, this is Justin Abrams saying so long for now. That was fun, but now it's done.